The often tense relationship between the U.S. and Afghanistan grew even more strained on Sunday during Chuck Hagel's first visit to the country as Pentagon chief. Hagel canceled a high-profile press event with Afghan President Hamid Karzai. This on the heels of Karzai's charge that the U.S. and the Taliban are in cahoots. The two men were due to hold a joint news conference, but just hours before scrapped the event. U.S. officials are citing security concerns as the reason behind the cancellation. Just a day before, a pair of suicide bombings rocked the country, killing at least 19 people. The Taliban claimed responsibility, adding the attacks were meant as a message to Hagel. The following day, Karzai alleged in a televised speech that the U.S. is keeping him out of supposed negotiations with Taliban leaders. It's all part of an effort, he says, for the U.S. to keep its troops in Afghanistan past the planned withdrawal date. Karzai pointed to the recent Taliban-sponsored attacks as exactly the type of justification the U.S. would use to argue its troops were needed past 2014.
Taliban are in daily talks with the Americans, but detonating bombs in Kabul and Khost. They claim they're showing strength to America.
The commander of the U.S. and NATO forces in Afghanistan, General Joseph Dunford, told NPR the charges were categorically false, saying, quote, "President Karzai has never said to me that the United States was colluding with the Taliban, so I don't know what caused him to say that today." The Los Angeles Times points out Karzai has a history of using controversial comments. He once referred to members of the Taliban as his brothers, comments which have left some observers wondering whether Karzai even really believes half of what he says. On Fox News, former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations John Bolton calls Karzai's bluff.
I think he's trying to play Afghan politics to show he's both independent of the United States and independent of the Taliban. But this is a very dangerous game.
A one-on-one meeting between Karzai and Hagel did go on as planned, with Hagel telling reporters that he denied any charges that the U.S. and the Taliban were working together. The Wall Street Journal reminds us that Karzai has accused the U.S. before of working with the Taliban. In 2009, he claimed U.S. troops were covertly flying insurgents into the country as part of a scheme to destabilize the country. For Newsy, I'm Elizabeth Hagedorn. Multiple sources, a broader view.